when you win a test match that convincingly, it makes the biggest statement, doesn't it, about the gap between the two teams, looking ahead to the summer and indeed the winter to come?
Well, certainly in this game, to win by as big as margins, that's obviously a testament to the 11 guys who played for England. Clearly there's some times we're under pressure, especially in that, it's been 30 for 3 in that first morning wasn't ideal, and losing those wickets on late in day one, kind of probably even Stevens after that day. But apart from that, from that moment on, we've really, I thought, upped our level of, our standard with both ball and bat.
How much did Joe's performance surprise you at all? Not just with the bat, but those crucial wickets he got today when you needed a spinner.
To be honest with you, not with the bat. I think we've seen it over, his very short international career. What an outstanding player he is, and his history in first-class cricket. When he gets 100, he generally gets a big 100 as well. So to me, that was no surprise. 7 overs, 2 for 9 was a little bit of a surprise, to be honest with you. He keeps moaning that I take him off, but so he's only 22, so he can just bowl occasionally.
Joe, could I ask you about that? I mean, the 2 great wickets to get today. Are you considering yourself an emerging all-rounder in the England team?
I wouldn't get that far. It's obviously nice to contribute and to try and offer to the team as much as possible. That's why I do it, is to try and help Cookie out and the rest of the boys out, and make sure I can contribute to the rest of the team.
Alastair, was part of your sort of strategy for batting as long as you did today, was that about grinding down the Australians and really sort of putting your foot on the throat and for the sort of longer term of the series as well? Yeah,
without a doubt. We wanted to bat for a bit longer. You know how hard it is when, if the ball's on the other side of the court and we've been in the field for such a long period of time, how hard it is to keep going in the field. So that, and also to give Joe Root the opportunity to get double 100. Unfortunately that didn't happen. But I think the half an hour we batted for this morning was worthwhile.
Joe, do you just feel at the moment that there's nothing you can't do on a cricket field? I know you dropped a catch, which suggests you're human, but do you just feel full of confidence and whatever you try is going to come off?
I won't get that far.
But
no, it's obviously nice. I'm in a good place at the minute and really enjoying my cricket, and that's why I play the game, and it's just nice to be in that environment, and hopefully that can continue.
Does it feel special?
Yeah, definitely. It's nice to know that I've contributed to winning a test match, and for it to be in the Ashes at Lords as well makes it that extra bit more special.
Alastair, what do you think is the bedrock of the English batsman's ability to carve out long innings? We saw that in the last Ashes 2 years ago. We've seen it here with Ian and with Joe. What's the bedrock behind that?
I don't really know. I think we know that when you bat a long period of time, you get big scores. And Gucci, our teacher, I suppose, if one way, or our coach in one way, that's what his bread and butter was. That's how he went about scoring as many runs as he did, and he's kind of tried to breed it into us, that we're trying to get into that tempo and that rhythm of batting, and he bangs on all the time about it. And I think over the last few years we have managed to get bigger hundreds, and once you're in, the word Daddy 100 wins games of cricket.
Do you think in your domestic game as well, though, you've got, I suppose in the county game you do get the opportunity to play on wickets, and in games where you can do that as well?
I don't know, to be honest with you, whether that's the difference. I don't know. I just think the batter's job is to score big hundreds, big runs. And I think it's crucial.
Alastair, you've been on the receiving end before, but you're now 2-0 up with 3 to play. Have you got the players to inflict a whitewash, or is it too early?
Look, it's certainly too early for that. You only have to look at our dressing room, how hard we've had to work for these 2 games. That's how tight it was up at Trent Bridge. In certain moments in this game we were right under the cosh. It's a huge credit to the lads that we've managed to pull through, and certain individuals have stood up at certain times to deliver that performance. It's a good dressing room to be in, but we'll do what we always do, which is enjoy tonight, recover well, and then we'll come back to Old Trafford and we're like, right, how do we go about winning this game?
And can you do it?
Well, I don't know about that, hopefully.
It's sort of a follow-on from that, Alastair. You've beaten them in Australia in 4 straight tests now. It must give you supreme confidence when you play them.
Look, it's obviously it's a winning habit, isn't it? And actually, these 2 test matches, the 4 test matches in this summer, we've won all 4, and I think that's a good place to be. But we won't be taking anything for granted or taking our foot off the gas or anything, or looking past the first hour at Old Trafford. That's not the way Andy Flower works. That's not the way this England side works. So you can think all you want, but we know how hard it's going to be the next 3 games.
Joe, you've kind of been fast tracked through and just taken to international cricket so well. I mean, much like Alastair did. Do you feel that you've become a better player as part of the England line set up and all sort of through the age groups, or do you feel that the basis of it has been your experience with Yorkshire? I mean, have you become a better player since being part of the sort of England setup, if you like?
Yeah, I think everything. Just playing the game in different environments, in different teams, in different conditions, and just trying to take bits of it and add that to my game and try and improve and just keep looking at ways in which I can get better. And that's something that I'll continue to do.
Alastair, after the fight Australia showed in the first test, were you surprised how easily they folded, especially in their first innings?
I think we've got to give credit to the way we bowled in that spell. Twice now we've been probably par with the bat in the first innings. And this first inning 360 was par. We'd liked a few more. We were below par at Trent Bridge, but our bowlers have dug us out of a bit of a situation by some seriously skillful bowling. All 4 of the seamers who played in these 2 test matches have done that, and it's good knowing that when we can apply some pressure to Australia's upper order, we can get some rewards, and hopefully we can continue doing it.
Alastair, do you feel like you've got Shane Watson worked out?
Look, he's a mighty fine player. All the bowlers find him tough to bowl at because he scores so quickly. But it's nice, knowing he's got a couple of starts and we've managed to get him out a few times as well.
3 times LBW. Like, do you feel like you?
Look, it's obviously nice when a plan you set up before the series with everyone. It seems to be working, but that doesn't mean it's going to continue working. It's as always, everyone keeps trying to improve, and I'm sure he will try as well.
Alastair, can you sort of give us your understanding of KP's injury and how he's faring at the moment, and then beyond that, the kind of players will be discussed as replacements? Are you happy you've got someone if he is injured to come in?
Well, clearly it's a concern. He's got a slight strain of his thing. Sorry, that was a bad slip of the tongue. So it is a strain of his calf. It is obviously a concern. Let's not get. That's what it is. We've got a great medical team who will work non-stop over these next week to try and get him ready for Old Trafford. He's a world-class player. With 20, I think he's got 22 Test hundreds, however many runs as well. So clearly that's a big hole if he's not there. But if he's not available, then it gives someone else an opportunity to step up. And there's some very good players out there who are not playing this time.
That's a huge ovation on the balcony by the England players when Joe got his runs. Can you say a little bit about what he's brought to the team and sort of how quickly he's become part of the team?
Oh, we spend all our time talking about him, don't we? Look, he's taken to international cricket extremely well. He's got that right character. It's obviously a lot about your technique and about your how you play the game. He's the right character to succeed at international cricket. I think the most impressive thing about him, he adapts his game to whatever the situation requires, and I think we've seen that in all 3 forms of the game. In 2020, 1 days, and now Test match, and doing extremely hard job opening the batting. In his second Test match in a high pressure situation to score a big 100 like that it's a huge credit to him. Of course, he knows he's nowhere near the finished article and how much hard work that he will continue to put in, but he can be mightily proud of his performance in this game.
Alastair, Australia's probably a bit more frustrated with it than you are, but just in terms of DRS, do you think it needs to be clarified a bit more before Old Trafford? Because it seems to be the source of great confusion, especially the Ashton Agar one today, where Hotspot showed nothing, but he was given out.
Look, DRS is getting more decisions right. I mean, we've had a bit of a funny couple of games where a few things have, have been, been slightly controversial, I suppose, in one way or another for both sides. But the bottom line is it gets more decisions right, and it's here to stay. I'm sure whoever's working behind the scenes might clarify it if they want to. But the bottom line is the players like it because it gets more decisions right.
How will you guys celebrate this, and what's your plans for the gap between now and the third test?
Well, I think we'll have a few quiet beers in the dressing room. It's a very special moment when you win a Lord's Test match against any side, but obviously Australia as well. And they're the times you cherish as a player. So as soon as I finish talking to you, I can go out there and enjoy it up there. And it'll be obviously a bit of time off and continue working on our games away from the cricket, away from the England environment. However the lads want to enjoy themselves, and then come back on Monday ready to work extremely hard again for 2 more games.